and welcome to lesson 24. Let's go ahead and get started. I do not perceive my own best interests. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation, and that perception is wrong. That sounds really harsh, but hey, tell it like it is, I guess. We're working on changing our thoughts and thus changing our perception, and so until that is fully healed, changed, corrected, then we don't really judge situations properly. It is inevitable then that you will not serve your own best interests, yet they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. If you realize that you do not perceive your own best interests, you could be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is a step toward opening your mind so that learning can begin. So it's kind of like that whole idea of somebody cannot grow, heal, change until they recognize they have a problem, whether that problem is something like alcoholism or overeating or over-exercising, whatever the thing is. For me, my vice is sugar. I eat a lot of sugar, or that's the thing that I feel most like addicted to, or that has its grasp on me. Until I could recognize that, okay, I kind of need to rein that in, I couldn't rein it in because I didn't think there was an issue there. So same thing here. If you don't think there's a problem with your perception, then you're not going to fix your perception until you do. So this is all about opening our minds and thinking that perhaps the course could be right and just give it a whirl. The exercises for today require much more honesty than you are accustomed to using. A few subjects honestly and carefully considered in each of the 5 practice periods which should be undertaken today will be more helpful than a more cursory examination of a large number. So really honest, really specific, pinpointed few options is a better way to grow and change than to have surface level but a wide variety. So like quality over quantity. 2 minutes are suggested for each of the mind-searching periods which the exercises involve. The practice periods should begin with repeating today's idea, followed by searching the mind with closed eyes for unresolved situations about which you are currently concerned. The emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome you want. You will quickly realize that you have a number of goals in mind as part of the desired outcome, and also that these goals are on different levels and often conflict. So you're thinking about the situation, something that's really bothering you right now, not something that you've already gotten over, but right now, what's bothering you. And think about, well, what do I want? What do I want to happen? And don't just go with one thing, like keep digging, okay, what else do I want to happen? What else? What else? And really dig down and see if you can figure out what the real thing you want to happen is. In applying the idea for today, name each situation that occurs to you, and then enumerate carefully as many goals as possible that you would like to be met in its resolution. The form of each application should be roughly as follows. In the situation involving blank, I would like blank to happen, and so on. Try to cover as many different kinds of outcomes as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to be directly related to the situation, or even to be inherent in it at all. If these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize that you are making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. You will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory, that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. So it's kind of like you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you have contradicting goals, when you have these goals that if you accomplish one, it prevents you from accomplishing another goal, then you can be happy, but you'll also be disappointed. It sounds a little nutty, I know, but when you really dig down, you might realize that let's say you want to move to a new house, and you've got all these reasons that you don't like your current place, but then there are also some other things that you do like about your current place, and in moving, you're having to drop some things and accept other things. And so maybe moving isn't the right thing for you. Maybe it is. I don't know. But when you really think about it, you might not be completely happy with the outcome because you're having to sacrifice other things. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that analogy for now. Okay, so let's see. After covering the list of as many hoped for goals as possible, for each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and go on to the next one. So with this lesson, recognizing that you don't perceive your own best interests, it might sound crazy. It might sound like maybe you just don't believe it. Maybe you think that's ridiculous. I am always looking out for my best. Well, I know that I wasn't. I know I still don't sometimes. We make decisions, knee-jerk decisions. Sometimes we make choices based on what other people want, and it's not necessarily what we really want or what's really best for us, but we sacrifice for other people and justify our decisions for so many reasons. And what I'm learning is, one, that decision making for me has always been very stressful because I grew up in a society of multiple choice tests. And there was always a right answer, you know? It's A, B, C, or D. There's 4 choices. Which one is it? And I was good at those tests. I could pretty much figure it out. If you gave me 4 choices, I knew which one was the right answer. I have a feeling a lot of the people in my generation, they are similar in that they get into the real world and they suddenly have all these options, all these choices. They're put in a job where they have the skills set, but they're presented with a problem, and there are not 4 solutions, and they have to pick the right one. No, they have to brainstorm, they have to think on it, and they have to come up with what the right thing to do is. Or let's say you're presented with excellent job opportunities, and you have to decide which job to take. And you're looking at it, and there are so many pros and cons, and either way you go, it's just completely stressful. That's how it was for me. I hated making decisions. Even something as simple as what to eat for dinner. You put a menu in front of me, and I would just be stressed out. Like, I didn't know what to pick. I didn't know what would be the best choice. And I don't know. I don't know if you guys are like that, but that's how it was for me. And I can say as I've gone through this course, and learning to connect with the source and consult with the source, it helps me with my decision making. It takes the stress and the burden off, and I don't feel like I'm on my own. I feel like I have guidance from a source that knows more, that can see the bigger picture and can let me know what's going to make me happiest. And ultimately, in the end, whichever job you choose, if you're connected and you're with the source and you're in a place of happiness and you're lacking judgment, and you're lacking unforgiveness, and you've just found this place of peace, either job would probably be fine because I'm in tune. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we really don't know our best interests, and we think we know what's coming around the corner, but really we don't. We can't plan for the future for the most part, but when we connect with the source, we can get kind of like the insider trading and a little one-up, a little extra foresight of what's happening, what's going on. So embrace this lesson, like all lessons, see what comes, and just be really open and honest with you. The more open and the more honest and the more just willing you are to open up to the course and to the lessons and to dig into what's inside of you, the more you're going to experience, the faster you will progress, and I think the more enjoyable the course will be for you. So good luck, try to keep an open mind, and have fun with it. See what you can dig up. All right, have a good night, and I will see you for lesson 25.